Dudes and dudettes. Oh, there's a little bit of smoke that came out of my cigarette. Look, just a video to show you what's been happening here by me. I built that little HO scale 35, finished it, and all that stuff. But then I thought, there's a lot of stuff that I do when I build them. Let's see if we can get closer. Yes. That I do that I'm not quite happy with. Me being, as you can see, a Markland dude all these years. And I have locos here from the 1960s that's still running. There's a couple of things that worries me when I assemble this thing. One being the cardan shafts, because I alter the wheelbase. So I make the chassis slightly shorter so the cardan shafts doesn't fit. And I remedied that by using Green Stuff World's ABS pipe that you cut to size, and you cut the actual cardan shaft and you slide this into it, make it shorter and slide it in there, and then hope for the best. So I did that, and I thought, if it's going to break, then it must break here by me. I haven't had a problem. This loco has now been running, wait for this, 8 days. 24 hours a day. I go home and I leave it. If there's a fire, I move. Anyway, so she ran backwards for 4 days and she's now running, this is day number 4 where she's running forwards. Or is it 7 days? Shit, I can't remember. But it's been running for a hell of a long time. It's a hell of a lot quieter now than it was in the beginning. I can tell you that much. Because I think she's properly run in now. I have not cleaned the wheels on this loco. I've cleaned track, but I haven't cleaned wheels. And it just keeps going. This is like watching paint dry. It's just the spit on the one side coming out the side of my mouth. What I did find was, now that she's properly run in, the crawling capabilities actually got a hell of a lot better. So I had to oil these wagons because they started squeaking. So I put oil on them this morning. So they lekker quiet now. But check here, if you slow it down to a... Check how she crawls. That is sitting on 5 volts, pulling 150 milliamp max, which makes this quite an efficient little loco. Look, there's not a hell of a lot of weight on it. It'll just crawl like that the whole day. Now, if I open it up and I let it run, flat taps, that's 20 volts. It does not really pick up a hell of a lot. That's what, 300 milliamp. That's sitting at 19 volts. So it's very efficient. I'm actually quite impressed with it. It's very, very efficient. Runs like a mother at 20 volts. Lekker, man. Lekker. Okay, this is not Sky Electrics, so I'm going to slow it down. So you guys can see. Look, I don't know how the hell I'm going to get up here. We'll have to call the fire brigade. I'm a bit, it's like drugs, a bit delirious because, you wait for something to break. Okay, all right, enough of the crap. So the cardan shafts were the one problem. You need to understand that I bend a chassis for these things. Now, all the guys that want these, let me run you through it. I bent the chassis out of brass, and then I put the motor on top of it on a separate brass plate which I then solder onto the chassis, which angles the Cardan shaft at an angle that I don't like. Look, it doesn't interfere with the way it runs. The 35 is long enough that it actually doesn't interfere. But I built a 31, which has got an even shorter wheelbase. And that one is not happy. That makes a hell of a noise. It's like a squeal because that Cardan shaft actually runs at an awkward angle. So I need to rethink that. So I was thinking, but obviously this will all interfere with the price. You know, I'm selling these things as it is at a stupid price, at a ridiculous price. It should be a hell of a lot more expensive than it is at the moment. Check how nice the air horns are, hey? Those are little scale hooters that we print in resin. They're beautiful. But, all right. The only other way is to cut and shape my brass, mark them off, scribe them, and then have them punched, by an engineering company. Punch the center hole out. Then I punch a hole in the center of that thing, and I make brass straps for the motor to hold the motor. All right, which will be forever and ever. I'm not too sure that it's necessary on this specific one, but on a 31, definitely. Definitely. I'll have to make a plan there to get that motor lower so that the Cardan shaft is a less awkward angle. So it's a bit of a problem because all of these things cost money. And as you pile it on, and I had a very loud mouth this morning on Facebook, crapping all over the people selling crappy models as SAR and Spoornet models, and they're not, and wara. So if I have to put my money where my mouth is and build these things that they are for life, like a Markland, I need to develop a little bit further. And, the price will just go up every single time. So, I don't know, boys. What do you think? This has been running 8 days. I mean, if something had to go, it would have gone by now. The longer the locomotive gets, if you do a 34 GM or you do even a 33 is the same length as this one, slightly longer, you will be able to get that Cardan shaft at an angle that's fine. It doesn't seem to bother this one too much. And I've stalled this. I've pressed it down and I stalled it. I think it will break the gear before it breaks the damn Cardan shaft. So we don't want to do that. But yeah. So look, it's a constant development on these things. I'm very happy with this one. I did drop it though. Look, there's a crack on the roof. It cracked over the side here. It fell off my bloody table. The body did. Because I'm an idiot. But apart from that, it's just running beautifully. So by this time you should be bored shitless and you're probably watching porn already, which is cool. But just as long as I let you know what is happening here and that I'm on it. I got to build some 124 scale stuff in between. I can't sit with this thing the whole time. But as soon as I'm happy with this one, I'm going to build one for a guy in the UK. And there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going to local dudes. Guys, just give me a gap. I'll get to them. We'll build you nice locos. There was also a guy that asked me if I can repower a Lima, and I don't think it'll be too difficult. I think that'll actually be very easy because it's a long loco. You pop it onto a Frateshi, bend the chassis for it, put a motor in, and wara. Oh yeah! And the other thing I want to tell you, there was, or ask you, or run by you, or whatever. There was a lot of guys that were complaining about, okay, not a lot of guys, 2 guys. 2 oaks were going, it's too expensive. We can't afford $4,500 for a loco. You should really try something like photography or fucking golf or something that's cheaper. But, okay, no, I'm being nasty now because that's just who I am. I'm a nasty boy. What I want to say is, if you have a Frateshi 35 and you want one of these and you send me the train. I just take the body off, trap hom stikkend op die vloer, want is kak, and then put this body on, and you can save 900 rand, because that's what the chassis cost me, 900 grand or whatever with shipping and stuff like that. So you can take 900 bucks off it, and then your price will be something like 3.6. And then I'll just rebuild it, whatever is in there over into this one. That we can do. That way, for the love of the hobby and SAR and Spoornet and all that, we can get you proper looking locos, right locos on your tracks at a price that might look a little bit better. So keep that in mind. Okay, dudes, look, you're probably asleep by now. So I'm going to go, just to let you know that I'm testing this oak. And if you don't hear from me within the next 2 or 3 days, I'm still sitting on the floor then because I can't get up. Because I'm old now. Goed. Right, guys. Till later. Goed, tot ziens.